Hello everyone, welcome to our subject Web Technology. Today we are going to see this syntax and semantics of XHTML. In the previous topic we have seen an introduction to XHTML. So in the previous topic we have seen a little demo on how to design a web page using HTML and what's the file extension of that HTML. Then we have seen history and versions of HTML followed by the meta languages used for HTML and XHTML. So SGML is the meta language used for HTML, and for XHTML language XML is the meta language used. Okay, so in this session today we are going to see more detailed syntax and semantics for XHTML. So XHTML is nothing but extensible hypertext markup language. So XHTML broadly we could say it is more stricter than HTML. In XHTML we should definitely close the end tag when there is an end tag for the HTML element, and and it is necessary to enclose double quotation for attribute values also. Okay, so it is more stricter than HTML, so as to avoid some technical errors, because HTML when we design a web page in HTML, so even if we misspell something or even if we omit some tags, that will be rendered by the browser in somehow, and that and the browser also won't post any complaints about those things. Whereas XHTML, it is this strict version. We must include the close tag for whatever the element having the open tag. Okay, so for example in Java, if we miss even a semicolon, the compiler will display the error and the program won't run. But whereas in HTML, even if something is missed out, that page will be rendered by the browser in some way, and in the future it issues some technical errors. So to avoid that, we will be using XHTML. In today's topic we are going to see the below topics: document type declaration, white space character data, unrecognized elements and attributes, special characters and attributes. Okay, so the first topic is DTD, document type declaration. So it is nothing but an instruction to the web browser about what version of HTML the page is returned. Okay, so the very first line of the page should be open angle bracket exclamation symbol doc type followed by the version of the HTML that page is written. Okay, so what for this purpose is, it is it is to ensure that web page is parsed the same way by different browsers. Okay, so we won't be designing a page for a separate browser. That page will be rendered by different browsers. Okay, so to comply with all those things, we need to mention the document type declaration, so about the version of HTML which we are using. So it comes under three flavors: DTD, in short, document type declaration, strict DTD, transitional DTD, frame set DTD. So strict DTD means it doesn't allow any deprecated elements and attributes. So deprecated in this sense, those elements and attributes will be eliminated by HTML recommendation sometime in the future. Okay, strict DTD means that version doesn't allow the developer to use the deprecated elements and attributes, whereas transitional, it will allow those deprecated elements and attributes. Frame set DTD means this declaration says that the browser window is divided into sub windows by means of frames. I think you might have come across or you had a chance of viewing the browser window into different windows. Okay, so that could be achieved by means of frame set. And frame set will regarding the frames, we will be seeing it in the future topic in your first unit. and this is the syntax for a document type declaration. So this is one example for transitional version. The first character is open angle bracket followed by exclamation doc type, then space, then it is saying about the HTML is the root element of the web page, followed by this HTML is publicly available, and what version, what flavor the HTML is using is, it is HTML 4.0 transitional as an English language. Okay, and followed by this location. This location is nothing but the file that identifies the particular standard here as transitional. So similarly we have the frame set and strict DTD. Okay, and here is some common document type declaration for different versions like HTML5. So we don't want to bother about all those things, public and the file path. Instead, when a web page is something starts like this, so slash exclamation doc type HTML means that web page is using the HTML5 version, and for HTML 4.01 transitional version, this is how the web page will look like for the document type declaration. And this is about XHTML 1.0 strict, and this is XHTML 1.0 transitional. So this is for the information purpose. So since we are in the latest version of HTML5, so somehow in the future if we come across a web page similar to this, so it will provide an knowledge to us. We will recognize these are different versions of HTML that web page is designed. Okay, and moving on to dealing with some white spaces. So white space means a blank space. Okay, so how the white spaces are treated by the web browser when we design a web page. Okay, so carriage, there are four white space characters like carriage, return, line feed, space and tab. So carriage, return in the sense it will take us to the beginning of the line. It won't take us to the new line. Carriage return means it will take us to the beginning of the line, whereas line feed means it will take us to the next line. It is like the return enter key, and space will be knowing and the tab also will be knowing it. So these are all some white spaces. How the white space is dealt by the browser is, normally we have seen in the previous section, the HTML document comes under two types of information. One is the markup information, the other is the character data. Markup in the sense it includes the HTML elements that are enclosed with the tags, and apart from the tags, the remaining elements are said to be the character data. Those are the information that is displayed in the browser client area. So how the HTML treats all those white spaces is, here all white spaces is converted into a space characters. Even if we give four space or 6 space or a tab key, the HTML while rendering that page, the browser will convert this into a single space. Okay, so leading and trailing spaces are also trimmed to a single space, and even multiple consecutive space are replaced by a single space character by the browser, and we will take a little demo on that also. Okay, here is an example. So the complete HTML page is not mentioned here in this example, only the body part is given. Here in the paragraph we have the hello world in one line, and there is a line feed followed by this is the second paragraph. But when we execute it, actually the browser won't consider this as a line feed. Instead it will be displayed in a single line because the entire two line is within the paragraph. Okay, so this is how the browser will render it. Okay, even when we while writing the coding by including the white space, those white space will be trimmed by the browser as a single line. And similarly here if we split that if we split that single paragraph into two paragraphs, then in that situation the paragraph is a block element in the sense it will take us to the next line. So only in this situation we will be getting the output as like this. So for this we will go for a little demo. So I will be using the editor, my editor bracket. So here the entire web page is given. including the HTML root element followed by the header section. I have the title as my first, so I think we have previously seen this example as my first HTML. So this is the title is HTML page, and in the body part I am having the 2 lines, and let's look at the output, how the browser renders it, because I have given hello world, this is my first page in 1 line, followed by followed by 1 line feed and welcome everyone. So how this paragraph is rendered by the browser, we'll have a look on this output. See here, so the browser trims all the white spaces into a single space, and it is displayed as a single paragraph. Okay, this is how it will be treated, and we will modify a little bit, and I will take this as 1 paragraph, and this I will take as an 1 paragraph. Okay, now saving the file, and let me go for execution. Now in this situation, it treats me as a 2 different line. Okay, so here I am getting this is this sentence I am giving it in 1 paragraph element, and this is the other line. Only in the situations I will be getting the 2 different lines. Previously everything gets displayed in a single line. Okay, we'll be back to our presentation. So this is how the browser treats the white spaces. And regarding unrecognized elements and attributes, so generally the HTML will display when unrecognized element is found in the body part or somewhere else, it gets displayed as it is. So in this example, here it uses this program uses strict XHTML version 1.0 and HTML. This is the root element HTML. So for the for XHTML, this is the standard. The root element has to specify the namespace attributes. This is the standard recommended by the W3 consortium. So we have to mention this namespace XML namespace. Okay. This path is a standard recommendation by the HTML W3 consortium. Okay, so followed by here in this example, in title E is the letter E is missed here, and followed by the body part. In a paragraph we have the hello world, and when the HTML while executing this page, how the browser renders is, here the title is misspelled, then the HTML then the browser will display that in the browser client area. Okay, so for this we will take a little demo of the previous example. So let me go for misspelling this title, and we will see how it is displayed. Okay, see here my HTML page. This is the title of the page. It suppose it should display here, but since I misspelled here, the browser won't throw me it doesn't throw any error, though there is a technical error here. This is not the actual content of the web page. It should be supposed to be placed here as the title, but the browser displays here. Okay, even if we misspell some elements, so this the thing will be happening. And here also, so here in this example, so 1 paragraph is hello world, and in another paragraph instead of P, it is misspelled as the unrecognized element. There is no element in HTML called as L. So but by mistake instead of P, L is here. This is my second paragraph. Let's take a look how the same thing is displayed. Okay, so here in this example, let me correct the title as title, and instead of P, let me give the unrecognized element as L, and now take a look at this output. Refresh. See here, so it is displayed rightly, though there is an error. The browser is not complaining. It displays rightly. Okay, though the content is placed correctly, but there is a little error over here. The browser won't complain on those things. Okay, this is how the unrecognized elements will be treated by the browser. Okay, and about special characters. So if we want to include less than symbol, greater than symbol, double quotation, so those are meant for different meanings in the HTML, because HTML tag should start with the less than symbol and it should end with the greater than symbol. And if we want to include that symbol in our HTML element, means we need to go for different we need to depend on some other reference. So that is by means of two ways we can include that symbol, either by character reference or by entity reference. This is number 2. Character reference is nothing but the Unicode character for those symbols, and entity reference is something like this. So ampersand, less than, semicolon. So if we include this line in our HTML web page, so this will be converted into less than symbol. For greater than, we need to depend on this entity reference, or we could use the Unicode value ampersand hash 62 semicolon. Okay, so we'll give a short form that. For example, so here, welcome everyone, I want to include the less than symbol. So for this I need to depend on ampersand lt semicolon. Okay, now I'll get the less than symbol. Refresh the page here. So to get a less than symbol, I need to depend on this character entity, or by means of entity reference. Okay, so here I have used the entity reference, so we could depend on this character reference, and for other symbols its respective entity reference and character reference are displayed here. You can have a look on those things. And moving on to one more special character called as ampersand NBSB, that means non-breaking space. It means when we shrink our browser window and we want the words to not to separate, there must be a space. The two words should always display together. In that situations we can include this special character non-breaking space. Okay, so let me copy this and I will show you the demo version of this. So here in this paragraph we have keep that special character non-breaking space together. It means keep together will be always displayed, okay, as a single word. It won't be separated. When we shrink the page, sometimes it may happens together when the space is not found, means the together will come to the next line. So here if we include the non-breaking space, means so both keep together will come to the next lines. Okay, it won't be separated. So in the situations we will be going for, if we want a what to be displayed in this situation, we can use this non-breaking special character. Okay, so here is one more example for demonstrating that non-breaking space character, and I will take you to, I will copy the code. Just a moment, I will copy it and I will show the demo. Here I will append the text. See here, I am having these many things, these lines, and of course this won't be fit into one page, I assume. And let me refresh it. See here, so it takes the single page. Let me shrink the page so that we will see what's happening. Okay, so keep together. So keep together will always be treated as an one statement. It won't break. So here if I shrink, so there will be no space for together, but keep together comes as a single word. So it won't be separated. So in this situations we will be going for using the special character called as NBSP, non-breaking space character. And talking about the attributes. Attributes means, apart from in this example, image is an element, HTML element. It is used to display an image. So to display an image, we need to mention which image. We need to mention the value, yes or no. So that is said to be an value for the attribute. Attribute is source. Okay, so here src, this is the source, the attribute name equal to the attribute value within the double quotation. So attribute means we need to specify the value to display the image. For the image element, it takes the link of the image. So here you can specify the link also, which takes us to the image. Okay, that so value should be specified within the double quotation, and we can mention more than one attribute. Here the one attribute is source, the other is alt, alternate. Okay, that will be separated by the space, and this alternate is equal to within the double quotation we are giving the alternate name for this source. When for some reason if the browser is not able to display the image, means the alternate text whatever here we are mentioning will be displayed. Okay, that's the other attribute for image element. Okay, so these are the valid way of giving the values for the attributes, and we need to avoid this type of mentioning the values. So double quotation, so within the quotes only we have to give the value, and suppose if the string falls within the quote, means we have to use this reference, okay, entity reference, to enclose that in double quotation. Okay, so this is all about today's topic, and here is a little assignment I have given you come up with a solution for this. Okay, so write a HTML markup that displays an example is written as less than x comma b greater than symbol dot. Okay, so you design a simple HTML web page that displays this line within the double quotation. I think you could use the entity reference or character reference for this double quotation, and less than symbol and greater than symbol. Okay, so that's it about today's topic, and we'll have a little summary of the HTML syntax and semantics. So we have seen about document type declaration, so the different flavors of DTD. So it says about the version of HTML that should be mentioned within that should be mentioned using doc type. Okay, so it starts with the exclamation symbol. It tells about the version of the web page it is using it. Okay, so next followed by we have seen some special characters, then how the browser treats the unrecognized elements and characters, and few demo we have seen. Okay, so hope you could come up a solution for this, and we'll see in the next class. Okay, till then, bye.